first thing we're gonna get into, I'm not gonna ask you. We're gonna just get right to it.
Let's get into it.
You know, your people be asking, how can you always be saying what we gonna talk about today? We're gonna get into it, dynamic. First thing.
Okay.
August Alsina. If you guys don't know who he is an R&B singer. His hit record was called "I Love This." Great record. Had the remix with Chris Brown and Trey Songz. It's a banger. He had other songs I can't think of at the moment. So he did an interview. Let me get a sip of this. I'm not gonna say the name of the drink because they're not giving us a check.
Well, just know it's not juice.
It looked like it, but
it's not.
Basically, he came out today. He did an interview with Angela Yee, and he said that, you know, there's always been speculation with him and Jada, you know, having some sort of relationship. Mm-hmm. So he came out today. He said a couple of things. Not today, but he had an interview. Some clips came out today, basically saying that Will gave him permission to have a relationship with his wife, who is Jada Pinkett Smith.
Well, he didn't use those words.
You saw the clip,
his
so you tell me what you
words
think.
Were more along the line. That's what I think. But his words were, Will gave him his blessing to be a part of his family and to give himself to his wife.
Yeah, he
kind of danced around the question, but when you listen to it, it's almost as if he had permission to sleep with her.
Let me tell you something. He's a Virgo, and you know that we have our way of change. I don't co-sign what he's doing, but we have our way of flipping and changing our words. Mm-hmm. Sometimes to only that we understand.
Right, y'all have your own.
We have our own lingo, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
I always say that.
I am the inventor and founder of the word, you know, sea donkey. I invented that word. So, in other words as well, you know what I'm saying? Joey, you know what I'm saying? You might get what your mama got.
Yeah, they can go back to what episode? Was it 2 to get your definition of a sea donkey?
Probably episode 2.
Yeah, go back to the previous episodes. But.
So, he didn't flat out say it, but he said it, just danced around a little bit and just reworded it.
Yeah. He said it without saying it. And what got me was he said he never gave himself to anybody the way he gave himself to her. He didn't say to the family, to him and Will, to her and Will, but to Jada. And when he had to walk away from it, he said that it killed him. Like, damn, Jada.
Yeah,
girl,
that box must be golden or something. One time for
mouth.
Jada, the box or the mouth. We don't know which one it is.
Like he said that cut him deep.
Yeah. And this was supposed to be a relationship where I guess she was supposed to just counsel him, as she's been doing with the Red Table Talk. This young man, if you don't know, he's had a lot of crazy situations out in public with his mom. He's had friends get killed. He's from New Orleans. He's been depressed. He's been suicidal. So, to my understanding, Jada was supposed to just counsel him. I don't know. This was after hours counseling. I don't know what happened.
And honestly, that's all it could have been, because isn't he like a little off, August Alsina? Like,
off like how? Mentally?
Yeah.
Could
and
be,
who's
but
to say that his accusations are accurate? I mean, it could be, because again, it's been speculation that Jada and Will had an open marriage, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I need to hear more details of that story. I want to hear their side. Like, I would love to hear Jada and Will's side to the story.
Well, they came out today. I don't think it was them themselves. I think their representatives came out and said those accusations are not true. Of course, they're going to come out and say that.
But I want Jada to sit down at her own red table and give a full, detailed.
I'll tell you what. If they have one, I bet Will be right there with his arms crossed.
Right.
Just
both
like this.
Both of them, because the way August Alsina was talking in the interview, I almost believed him.
I wouldn't put
it
past.
It was very believable. And then considering that, again, Jada and Will are known to have an open marriage.
Right. Yeah, I told you, and there's a clip that you heard about that she said they're never going to divorce, even if she stays on one end and he stays on the other with somebody else. We are never going to divorce.
See, I don't know about that, Jada, but yeah.
I have a couple of things. Saw the pictures. They were very too close for a counselor. And You know, they were just too
I
close.
don't think it was anything inappropriate.
They were laying down.
With that picture.
They were laying down together, and one person's head was next to the other one. Like, it was really.
It was just them
intimate.
two in the picture, or the one with the kids? Because
They had,
then they have pictures
I mean,
with the family too.
That's a problem too. I don't know about that one. Why are you taking
But
pictures
Will,
of my kids?
I'm sure Will does not have a problem with it, and I'm sure Will did give his blessing.
On what?
If anything happened between him and Jada, like he said, I do believe him on that part.
She sounds like Erykah Badu. You know, Erykah Badu has a history of getting into people's soul. Apparently, how she is. Like, she got something on her. She's done it to 3 Stacks. She's done it to Common, Jay Electronica. Like, whoever she touched, DOC, whoever she touches, they seem to get affected by her loving.
Yeah.
And the way this brother was talking,
Yeah, he sounded like he was in the sunken place.
she touched his soul in a lot of different areas. You know,
Yeah,
he looked really hurt. And what did he say? He said he gave himself to her.
Yeah, he
for
gave
years.
himself to her for years, and he's never been in love with anybody the way he was in love with her. He never gave himself to anybody the way he gave himself to her. So, of course, it only leaves one to think that you're talking about sex.
Yeah, because ain't that much
why
good
her?
counseling.
Why single her out? Because of a counseling session? I don't.
Ain't that much good counseling in the world. And I have my issue is the talking about it. I understand you women nowadays who get mad at men like this, and what I mean by that is the talking.
But okay, let me play devil's advocate here.
Play it.
Okay, so he only addressed it because now his career is being affected, because it's almost being portrayed as if he was a homewrecker, or that he didn't have Will's blessing. You know what I mean? So it's one thing to be messing around with a married woman, but if the husband allows it, and this is an arrangement that they had, I think he wanted people to understand that.
Until today, you haven't heard anything about him.
Right, but that was his whole purpose for doing the interview, is to let the people know that he didn't just throw himself at her. He wasn't chasing her. This is an arrangement that they had. So I think that should, determine what kind of career he's going to have. Because like you said, they don't want to work with him because of all of this that's going on.
Yeah, apparently he's been blackballed, and I don't doubt that, because being blackballed is a real thing. You hear that a lot, and sometimes we don't know what it is, so we don't believe it. But being blackballed is a real thing.
So give the people a breakdown of what blackballed is.
If you don't know what blackballed is it's a power move. It actually happens a lot to women. It happens to everybody, but a lot of times, like for example, this Me Too movement, like Weinstein, these guys, a lot of them were saying, hey, if you don't sleep with me, you don't do this, you don't do that, I'll make sure you'll never work in Hollywood.
Right.
That's being blackballed. Or if just you doing something that someone doesn't like, they put in a word to everybody, whether it's a movie industry, music industry, they put the word out and like, you know what? Yo, I'm done.
Right.
You're done. Jay-Z is known for doing it. Our favorite rapper. It's a lot of people out there who do that stuff, that will blackball people.
Right. So I don't think that he was just doing an interview to, tell their business or to, tell people what was going on. I think he was trying to clear his name, because it almost makes him look bad.
Or it could be
Either way, I think he looks bad. I think they're all strange, from Jada to Will to
either way.
Alsina. I mean, I love Jada. Like, I love Red Table Talk. I love Will, but I think they have an interesting relationship. One that wouldn't work for me, but it works for them. So if it works for them, they like it. I love it.
Speaking of Red Table Talk, if you haven't checked it out, we didn't get to talk about it. Excuse me. That Will Smith interview, that's the best interview she's had, the Red Table Talk.
No, I didn't see it.
You got to check that out. If you haven't, people, check that out.
I think I heard about it, but I don't think I tuned into the full episode.
The best Red Table Talk interview. He's basically talking about his childhood, how fatherhood has been to him, what his father meant to him. It is, and it got a little emotional. For fathers, it's definitely an emotional interview. But she basically shut up and let him do talking, and that's not that's unusual for her. Usually she does a lot of talking, but she let him talk and let him
But
express himself.
no, everybody that comes on Red Table Talk, she lets them express themselves. She lets them talk, and she's really good at listening and evaluating what they're saying.
This interview is the best though.
Yeah, I want to see it. But going back to the August Alsina situation, because even when Angela Yee was interviewing him, she even asked, like, so are you upset that Will and Jada have not addressed this to clear your name?
They're not going to do that.
I understand that they're not going to do it, but it's like it's going to destroy his career. But so I think that's why he had no choice but to do an interview. That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. So if he really was being blackballed, I can kind of see, okay, maybe this is my time to really finally speak up on it. Right. I get that if that's what the situation is.
Right, that's my point. Yeah. Now, if it's anything other than that, and he just was doing an interview to promote sales or something like that,
because
then he did wrong.
That album, he just got an album that just came out or on his way out, so it could be a promotional stunt to sell more records, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Leave your comments on YouTube. Tell us what you think. We did
post it on our story, and 100% of the people who voted said he shouldn't have came out.
Yeah. I just have a thing about just talking on public platforms as far as like personal stuff. It's chatty patty to me, and that's more of a female trait. I just never like to see a man. I don't like to see anybody do it. If a woman does it, it's kind of expected. I just don't like to see men being, and I see that a lot nowadays. Mm-hmm. Men being chatty patties. I just don't.
Chatty patties.
Yeah, just shut up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you may say something to your homeboy because that's Jada Pinkett, but just to get on YouTube and a public platform, or like,
last time I checked, everybody like to brag, men and women.
But damn, but we'll see what's going on with that.